Hello every pony, Prince Alagorn of Ecolonia here, and today I will be reviewing the new episode, Power Ponies. And holy crap, that's a lot of riders on this one. So, basically our setup is the main six get sucked into one of Spike's comic books and get to play superheroes for the day. Let's start with what I liked. Continuity. Yes, we actually have a good deal of continuity in this episode, in that we see that every pony is basically restoring the old Castle of the Two Sisters, referencing back to Rarity's project in Castlemania. Intriguing. Does this mean that ultimately, once this castle is restored, it's going to be Twilight's? Is she going to be Princess of the Everfree, Princess of Ponyville, or what's going on here? I guess we'll have to wait to see by season's end. Another thing I liked is that really this episode is Spike commenting on his own status. He ends up being cast as Humdrum, the sidekick in the comic when they get sucked through, which is an idea that he absolutely hates, because to him the sidekick is just a useless character that serves no purpose than to be comic relief. And we've seen Spike be a lot of that in this series. We've also seen him be fairly useful, which comes in later, but at the same time, you can kind of understand why he's reluctant to want to be this part. Another thing I liked is the moment where Spike breaks the fourth wall. We've seen him do stuff like that before, as sort of an alternate Pinkie Pie, in a way. And it's usually pretty funny when he does it. And it's still funny here. And another thing I love is, let's talk about the actual villain of this piece. Maniac. Fantastic design. Nice use of the hair acting like Doc Ock's tentacles. She has the same origin, essentially, as the Joker. She has the same manic laugh as the Joker. She's bug-shaped crazy, like the Joker. And she's so ridiculously over the top that she is, essentially, Cesar Romero's Joker from the 1966 Batman series. And it's glorious. Oh my god. It's amazing. I really love her. She might be up there with Discord in terms of my favorite villains on the series so far, and it's easily my favorite minor villain. Another thing is, Pinkie and Rarity get to shine in this episode, especially Rarity, giving her Green Lantern / Star Sapphire-esque powers, and then letting her use her creativity to go wild with inventive ways to solve the problems. Fits her perfectly. I wasn't sure what the hell they were going to do with her in terms of powers, because she has fought before. She has proven she can defend herself before, but she's not the high action type. This is a good way to have her in a high action situation and have her be useful while taking full advantage of what she already does. And Pinkie, while it's kind of odd that she's the speedster here and not Dash, at the same time, given her manic, hyperactive self, it kind of makes a lot of sense. And the running gag with the cupcakes is funny, and she's able to tease everyone while being too fast for them to do anything about it. And, oh my god, honestly, this is probably the best she's been written so far this season, which I know isn't saying a lot, considering she's been extremely Flanderized. But I really liked this. Call back to a Canterlot wedding. That's a nice touch too. The monologuing scene is amazing because Maniac proves that not only, she proves that she's a stereotypical supervillain in that she has this scene, but the way she has a henchman there and a timer to activate the mutant hairspray to keep everyone frozen in place, smart. Very, very smart. You don't see that a lot. And I like that subversion of that particular trope. And lastly, two things to finish out. Number one, while you saw it coming a mile away, Spike kicks major ass. And it's glorious. And number two, holy shit, is Flutter Hulk amazing. Honestly, part of me wants to complain that it's a flanderization of her character, but you spend all episode building up to this point, and you're just dying to see it. And when it finally comes, and you see Fluttershy finally blow up and start wrecking shit, oh, it's glorious. It is glorious. Now, we need to talk about some of the things I didn't like. And number one is, it's a episode that has Charlotte Fullerton as one of the writers. There are certain plot contrivances that you expect when she writes. She has this tendency to try to twist the characters to fit a plot instead of have the plot evolve naturally out of the characters. It's not quite so bad this time, but you still get a little bit of the contrivance. Some of that might also be because she's working with a person that wrote for Johnny Test, and some of it is just her. And yeah, speaking of those contrivances, the premise itself is, much like Daring Dope, kind of fucking retarded. But here, at least, it worked better than it did in that episode. It works a lot better here, largely because by being sucked into the comic book world, it makes it slightly alternate universe, like Equestria Girls. So you can let some of this shit slide because it's a filler episode and it doesn't really affect continuity that much. Another thing I didn't like is, did Zecora write the spell on the last page of the comic that kind of sucked everyone in? Because the way it's phrased definitely sounds like Zecora, but I don't see Zecora as a comic book writer. Do you? This is the first time that the CGI has looked kind of wonky to me. The scene where everybody's being sucked into the book, the coloring and the lighting just looked really fake in a way that we haven't seen in the rest of the season so far, and didn't see throughout the rest of the episode. It just looked wrong. But that's, I guess, just a minor nitpick by me. And finally, again, we're talking plot contrivances here. Why the fuck does Equestria have a comic book store that sells enchanted comic books? Yeah. Can you say absolutely insane? What happens if a child gets sucked into a comic and loses and dies? Does that mean they die in the actual world of Equestria? That's kind of disturbing to me. Anyway, I kind of went into this one with lowered expectations, because I don't really think that highly of Charlotte Fullerton episodes. I guess having Megan McCarthy help write it really helped stabilize some of her worst tendencies, and made this possibly the best Fullerton episode I've seen in a long time. All in all, it turned out a lot better than I ever thought it was going to. Still problematic, but it's a fun little romp. Once again, it's another one of those Rambo effect episodes. If you don't think about it too hard, it's really good. But it kind of falls apart once you start overanalyzing it. All in all, I'm pleased with this episode, surprisingly so, and I'm going to give it a 3.25 stars. Until next time, bye. As an aside though, I feel like I need to say this, and I forgot to earlier in what I didn't like. Yeah, about the premise. Let me make sure why I think it's retarded. You see, I sort of already know that the main six are superheroes. We have enough action arcs to demonstrate that. So, you guys, you didn't have to slap me in the face with a dead fish and make me go, do you get it? Yes, I get it. I fucking got it back in season 1. And also, we've done this 3 weeks in a row now. 3 weeks we've dealt with self-doubt. The first time, you did it good. The second time, you did it fucking amazing. This time, it was boring and repetitive. Fucking stop! Hello, every pony.